6 countries, 6 stories. And guess what? Most people missed out on every single one of those 6 stories. Newspaper Tales has got your back. So while the world was busy chasing pop culture noise, Africa was quietly rewriting the future of her children. And if you look closely enough, you'll see the whispers turning into choruses. And this is a beautiful situation because it's been a long time coming, and of course, care is constant and we expect changes to occur as we develop in the society, in the world, and of course, as individuals. Welcome once again to Newspaper Tales. I am Big Sam and this is your channel. So the question is this a quiet rebellion or the calm before the greatest storm? Because after World War II, in between 1957 and 1964, almost every African nation was handed its independence.
Big dream, big hope. It was in a very romantic period.
From decades of European colonialism, one continent hungry for another's riches.
European imperialism in Africa set up the continent to be raped, its resources just sucked out.
The dreams of the independence era were to be short-lived.
The initial euphoria disappeared very, very quickly within a year, maybe 2 years.
Some of those were documented and were written in invisible ink. You are free, they said, but your currencies are printed in their lands and not in your own land. It's just about you using their banks, their currency, their own system. For 60 years, Africa carried that invisible chain. So here's the thought. When you control your flag, but not your currency, are you truly free? Cameroon, October 12th, election day. President Paul Biya, a 92 years old president who has been there for a donkey of years, the man who has ruled longer than the internet has existed, runs again for presidency. The opposition declares victory after the elections. The youths of the country live streamed a chaotic political arena where elections were going on and officials were caught voting twice, as if democracy came with a buy one get one free deal. They say the results will take 15 days to count, a result that citizens have posted online in real time.
Now, the race for Cameroon's presidency is still on, but the opposition candidate Issa Chiroma, a long-time ally and the former spokesperson for President Paul Biya, has claimed victory in the 12th of October elections. The Chiroma declared victory late on Monday night, urging President Paul Biya to accept defeat and to honor the truth of the ballot box.
I will say it with gravity and simplicity. The people have chosen, and this choice must be respected. I call on all institutions, all administrative authorities, all officials, not to become enemies of the people they are supposed to serve. The time of fear, manipulation, and false calculations is over. The only side that matters today is that of Cameroon.
When a nation needs 2 weeks to confirm what the people already know in 2 minutes, who really holds the power, the ballot or the belief? Let's go further down to China. China isn't just taking a walk in Africa. It's plugging in. It's shifting its gears. It's shifting its mindset and its future towards Africa. And that's not a surprise because the truth about it is Africa seems to be, heading in the right direction to lead the world, to govern the world in food security, in IT development and fintech. Africa seems to be heading and going a long way. For example, the M-Pesa that started in Kenya has taken over the world. Today, I and a lot of us in Africa don't really go to the bank anymore. We don't have to go to the bank. When the whole world started a cashless society, Africa took it literally and actually worked on it and went miles ahead away from the rest of the world. And right now, with your phone, you just pick a phone and you are already in your banking system. You're already transferring and receiving money abroad. locally, wherever you want to. So we're actually heading somewhere, and yeah, China has taken notice. And of course, the Chinese people don't actually dull. They are not dulling. They're not waiting for anybody. Just like we in Africa, we don't like the word last or fail, and that's why they are where they are today. And seriously, they are like looking into Africa to invest in Africa, because they know that whoever has the hold in Africa is actually prepared for the future. So BYD, the Chinese EV giant, is installing over 300 charging stations across South Africa by 2026. Whoa.
Give us a sense of your long-term strategy across the continent.
So I think we will bring all the technology here, not just the car, but including the total solution.
What would Africa and South Africa mean for the company? Get into some of the numbers if you can.
We're going to put maybe 200 to 300 before end of next year.
How much are you willing to put in though for that?
This is big money, because each flash charging costs a lot of money. So this is a big investment as our like step one.
They are not just selling cars. They are building the roads to the future. Whoever owns the plug owns the power. And while Western companies debate the next market trend, China is quietly wiring the continent for decades to come. Meanwhile, South Africa's government has taken Israel to court. The South African government decided to take Israel to the International Court of Justice for genocide even after a ceasefire. Minister Neladi Pandor said it's best justice doesn't go on holiday. So here is a riddle. Is Africa learning to fight wars with evidence instead of weapons? Now let's go to Kenya. In Nairobi, Kenya, a quiet but powerful shift. The Central Bank of Kenya starts buying gold, not for vanity, for sovereignty. For decades, Africa's reserves sat in dollars. Stable, yes, but whose stability were they truly protecting? Now Kenya joins Ghana, Uganda, and Zambia in turning to gold. It's not a rebellion, it's foresight. It's the continent saying, if the global storm comes, we'll bring our own umbrella. So ask yourself, if your wealth lives in someone else's vault, do you still own it? And here comes Madagascar, the island everyone seems to forget until it's time for a documentary on an animated film.
They are aliens, savage aliens from the savage future.
But behind the palm trees and postcard smiles, Madagascar is becoming a quiet strategist. China, India, and France are circling for influence. The island sits like a crown in the Indian Ocean, a potential anchor for new trade routes, naval bases, and mineral wealth. While others shout, Madagascar listens. And in geopolitics, silence can be the loudest move of all time. Could this forgotten island become the compass of a new Indian Ocean order? Madagascar. In mid-October 2025, the army stepped in. Protests driven by young youths complaining about water power, jobs, and corruption turned into something bigger.
Madagascar, the beautiful island of the Indian Ocean. A land of stunning nature, rich culture, and resilient people. But beneath this beauty, a deep tension has erupted. Over the past few weeks, the streets of its capital, Antananarivo, have turned into a battlefield of voices demanding change. What began as simple protests over electricity and water shortages has exploded into a national crisis. And now the army, yes, the same army meant to defend the government, is refusing orders. Soldiers have joined the people. The president says a coup is underway. This is the story of a nation on the brink. A story of courage, chaos, and a cry for justice echoing across Madagascar.
Could this be the first island to quietly link the Sahel's rebellion with the Indian Ocean's future? Because if the Sahel's style of youth plus military plus anti-dependency reaches Madagascar, the rules are changing again, and Africa is yet to set another landmark. Then there is Mali, The US decides to impose a $10,000 visa bond on its citizens. So Mali responded, "Perfect, you too." That's not diplomacy, that's patriotic balance. After expelling French troops and rejecting Western dictates, Mali's message is clear: respect or nothing. And the spirit is contagious. Burkina Faso, Niger, Chad, the Sahel is drawing its own borders, not on maps, but in the mind. When a small nation mirrors a superpower's arrogance, who really looks smaller? Zambia and DRC, the Copper Kings. Zambia and DRC, two neighbors sitting on mountains of copper. Now prices are at 17-month high, fueled by electric cars, solar grids, and artificial intelligence. The world needs copper for its green revolution. But the irony, the lights that power tomorrow still flicker across African villages tonight. But still, for once, Africa holds the leverage. If they really negotiate wisely, they could turn resources into wealth, into real independence, and not paper kind. The kind you can build with, the kind you can actually, foster tomorrow and protect your image and that of your children's children. So let me ask this question: is it exploitation if Africa finally names the price on its mineral? Finally, Cameroon's unrest, Kenya's gold, South Africa's courtroom, Madagascar's silence, Mali's defiance, Zambia's copper surge. Different stories, same pulse. This isn't chaos, it's choreography. For 60 years, Africa has survived independence. Now it's learning self-determination. Are we watching the birth of Africa's century, or a final warning before it slips away again? Let's hope these events are not just coincidences, but actually working in line with nature, in line with what is K, which is constant, where we don't have to beg for finances, or beg for food, or beg for water to drink, where our children will not cry and sleep with hunger, where bombs and guns are not the melody songs our children listen to before they sleep. Let's be proud of our brothers who are doing well across the African continent, and also educate those who do not really understand what is going on. Okay, so this is why Newspaper Tales comes to forefront. We are here to discuss these matters with you, and I want to hear you comment, share your opinion on what is going on across Africa. If this is a revolution that is going on quietly, simultaneously across the continent, and if it's a beautiful thing, I would like to know. Comment in the comment section. Let us know, understand ourselves. And yeah, let us stay curious and stay awake, because history doesn't always announce its turning points, and sometimes it just whispers them. And this is why we are here, and this is why you are there, and together we are going to move ahead. So once again, welcome to Newspaper Tales. My name is Sam. It's a pleasure being with you today. For you to keep tab, make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I wish you all the best. Have a great day.